on this computer. All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, hello, Ignacy and Portal Games.
And this is Stephen Bonacore, the Podfather of Gaming. You are listening to episode 166 of Board Games Insider. We're recording this on October 12th, 2020. Board Games Insider is a proud member of the Dice Tower Network, and I'm declaring Tom is wrong. That's right, Ignacy. As you can see, and hopefully some of our listeners can see, that I am sporting today my Tom is wrong t-shirt, which was given to me by my lovely girlfriend, Paula, and I'm proud to proclaim to the world Tom is wrong. I'm in such a good mood today. You know why, Ignacy? Because today is Monday. It's a Monday, and I'm talking to you to start off this week. You have
When
nothing
you
to
are
say?
working,
You
when you are
got
working and when you are at work, Monday is not so awesome. Trust me. You may forgot that, but basically Mondays are not the best one.
I don't know. To me, Monday sounds like the best day of the week. I don't know. You've got this new like cool haircut. Look at this. It's like, wind tunnel tested. You have no hair on your head there. So I'm trying to coax our viewers over to take a look at us over onto the YouTube channel so they can actually see what we're talking about. My great Tom is Wrong t-shirt and Ignacy's new haircut. Looks sexy. Very sexy, Ignacy.
That was a very long day today at Portal Games offices. I'm not sure if I know who was my name at this point. Like it was really one long meeting, one after another.
Too bad.
But I will do my best to give some energy in this podcast. So stop whining, stop complaining, stop being Slavic. I'm back in
Oh,
American mood. Everything is awesome.
awesome. So tell us what happened today and this past week at Portal Games.
At Portal Games, today we had a very interesting discussion because during the weekend we had, for the first time in our history, we did online tournament in our game, Hiroshima Convoy. You can buy it for Android and Apple devices, and we were running tournament. People from all over the place were able to play multiplayer. So the app is matching people online, and they are playing against them. This is a two-player game I designed many years ago.
Nice.
And today we had a discussion because the winner of the whole tournament get many points in a very short time of the tournament. And we were wondering if this is possible, if there was some tricks and hacks done. And of course we don't know because we are analog designers, we are analog company, and we are doing our best to do some online tournaments, but it might be the case that this person hacked the system somehow. Of course, we have no clue what happens. Of course, I definitely don't want to say anything bad because maybe it was fair play. But yes, we are after our first tournament. We had plenty of people. My marketing team is writing press release right now with the numbers and some description of the tournament. But the most important news is that, of course, I did it first, and then probably Asmodee will follow up. So look for the news about Asmodee doing online tournaments because I did it already.
Very
Fun
cool.
time because this online tournament, so I was able to play in it. So I took my iPad, I started the app, I played it. The computer matched me with some user, and this user kicked my ass. So that was not very nice of him. So I tried once again. So the app once again matched me with somebody. I played with somebody. I was kicked again, and then I said I'm done with this stupid tournament. And so I finished the tournament with a 0 points won. That was pathetic. Everybody who was playing was able to see my nickname Trevik on very low in the ranking. So
Nice.
terrible experience for me. Hopefully everybody else has some fun. So that was what's happening this weekend with the Hiroshima Convoy. I strongly recommend. Great game. As for the brag section, I just had. You're asking what was happening today. Today I had a discussion with Greg, my production manager. We have a confirmation from France, America, and Germany about the reprint of Detective. So I'm very happy, in a great mood.
And
Yeah.
I have to mention that I got an email over the weekend from Amazon saying your order has been canceled for Detective Season 1. I had ordered it through a retailer because and it said due to lack of supply. So my order was canceled because that retailer wasn't going to be able to get the supply to send me a game. So I literally right before the show, 10 minutes before the show, I went back on and now Amazon has it listed as in fulfilled, is sold and fulfilled by Amazon. So I ordered another copy directly from Amazon. So
I
I'm getting my
appreciate that.
copy of Detective Season 1 before I need to wait for a reprint. So everybody out there better do the same. Quick, run.
I appreciate that. That's the moment when the whole work on the game finally makes sense, and you see people playing it and enjoying and sending us emails. And I want once again, because in this podcast we try to educate, we try to make some funny things, sometimes share our thoughts. So I want to encourage geeks, gamers, to reach to your favorite publishers, to your favorite designers by geek mail or email, and sending this short note, hey, I played your game, we had a great time, thank you. That makes so much amazing moment for the designer or the publisher. It makes your whole day when you open your inbox and you see these
Sure.
very honest, transparent, short words. Thank you for designing this game. We had a great time with our friends. It makes really a difference. So I encourage you, if you played some great game during the weekend, on Monday, make these difficult Mondays a little bit easier for designers of publishers and send them such a nice note. I received them, and I really appreciate them. That's very kind of you guys. Pre-orders, because back to the business. So look needs my help here. Portal Games USA. We have Narushima Hex Year of the Moloch on pre-order. The pre-order stops or ends, I guess, ends on November 23rd. November 23rd is the last day of the pre-orders, because then we have to start production, and because this game has amazing component and has a huge miniature, we have to produce the number of the orders we have. So we are waiting for the numbers. On November 23rd, we close the pre-orders and we start production. So don't miss out. We have Robinson Crusoe Treasure Chest expansion on pre-order. It will release during the Spiel Digital, so very soon. And yes, what's happening at Portal Games headquarters? Two things. I'm playtesting Vienna Connection, and my team is preparing for Spiel Digital. So a very busy time. It's hard to believe that Essen is in 10 days. Do you feel it? This is 10 days. Back then, when it was a physical show, you were preparing logistics, you were preparing, hotels and reservations and all the travel. And now you don't feel it somehow,
it's
because
it's a whole different feeling when you're
very
not
different.
leaving your home or your office, maybe in your case, during that
Yeah.
period of time, and we're gonna watch it. I mean, we're gonna experience it. You're gonna be doing things, right? I mean, you're doing some stuff for Spiel Digital.
Yes.
Good,
We have a ton of events, but without
good.
this whole trip, the travel, the hotels, like, it's very different.
Yes, that's right. Last year at this time, or right before Spiel Digital, Spiel Physical, I was in Poland, right? And we met in
Yep.
Poland to
That
hang
was
out a little bit.
nice.
Can't do it this year. Very cool. Interesting.
What's happening when you're not working? How's your life?
Oh, is it up to me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Over here at the Podfather of Gaming, well, what's happening? I'm going to invite everybody again to check out my escape room in Fort Myers, Florida, but you can do it digitally. So I just want to invite everybody to check this out. It makes a great couples date night kind of thing. Hey, Thanksgiving's coming up in the United States pretty soon, so you can go and buy virtual escape rooms at escaperoomadventures.com. You can support up to 6 people or so, and it's $20 a person. It's a great value. We've got 4 different rooms right now that are available: a pirate room, an 80s themed room, a magician's room, and an alien room. So you can play in my escape room at escaperoomadventures.com. Book it there. It's a fantastic experience. We are the #1 rated escape room in South Florida, and you can check it out and enjoy that. The happy hour at the Podfather continues, and I'm going to continue this until we are back to some semblance of normal. I highly recommend go over to Facebook, patreon.com/podfathergaming, and you can see the events that I post. It's every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, and Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Positivity, talking about what we're doing game-wise, having fun, having a drink together, and keeping each other just sane during these crazy times. So come on and check us out. Tom Vassell, my man. Board Game Breakfast. I am now co-host with him and Z Garcia. It has been so much fun doing that. We've been getting some nice reviews that hopefully that I've added something to the show, which is kind of nice. And that's every Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and it's live show. You just go to the Dice Tower YouTube channel and you sit there and you listen to us a little bit, plus some videos recorded by contributors. We do a little game show that involves the audience very often, but it's normally me against Z or me against Tom, and I've been killing them on the entire time. So I've been winning, and it's been fun, and I get to brag even more. It's wonderful. Maybe I have to add my brag of the week that I beat Tom, and then I beat Z, and then I beat Tom, back and forth. I've been beating them quite a bit in the little trivia type game shows that we've been doing. What else is going on here? Oh, we posted. So my video of the week is that Roy Canaday and I, we had played War of the Ring. I mentioned that to you, and we recorded a video about our experience. It's about a 45-minute video where 10 minutes of it, we just talk about the game itself and how it works so that people who are not familiar with War of the Ring can get a feel for the game and its amazing mechanics. And then about a half hour worth of us describing the epic play that we had of War of the Ring. If you want to understand why I am passionate about this and Roy is passionate about this and how interesting it is, Roy actually edited the video, unlike us, which we just throw the video up there and it's just, whatever, right? Just you and me, we just put a video up on YouTube. Roy edited the video, added in photos in the middle, and he put a nice border around it and all that. Check out this really beautiful video at the Podfather of Gaming YouTube channel, War of the Ring Battle Report. So that's it for this week. I'll have some more interesting things going on next week. But in the meantime, Ignacy, let's go to the event deck. All right, so the first thing that we have here in news of the week is that, and this is not game related per se, but it's just interesting that there's going to be an online battle royale, so to speak, set up for mid-October. So basically right now when you're going to be hearing this, as the mass market merchants are trying to take on Amazon. So U.S. mass merchants based in brick and mortar stores, especially Walmart, are coming hard for Amazon as online sales boom, scheduling competing events directly against Amazon's rescheduled Prime Day. Amazon postponed Prime Day, its mid-July sales event, in June due to COVID, and is now rescheduled for October 13th, 14th. So basically, right as you're hearing, we're dropping this, this is going to be going on. Not to be outdone, Walmart is planning its own big save promotion for October 11th, which has started already, through 15th, starting before Amazon's event and lasting longer. And Target is planning Target Deal Days on October 13th, 14th, with some price cuts beginning as early as October 5th. So this is all going on right now. And this is all, of course, to grab your ability to order and find your favorite retailer. And they're trying to each one grab you in these COVID days when online selling is so big. I guarantee there's going to be some great deals for gamers on this as well, because gaming is a very large segment on Amazon, and they are also selling, of course, on Walmart and on Target.com. And by the way, the game selection on those platforms, Target.com and Walmart.com, are quite different than the in-store selection. That's kind of an interesting thing because, a little behind the scenes, PSI, the former Stronghold Games sales agent, and they do some selling for Portal Games as well. They're the ones who fulfill when games are sold on Walmart.com and Target.com. So while not directly game related, this is an interesting thing that these retailers are really looking to get your dollars on their platform.
Yes, enjoy the discounts. It will not happen in Poland here, so enjoy them.
It is what it is. The Nuremberg Fair has been postponed, Ignacy, and that's interesting. The Nuremberg Fair is actually called Spiel Spielwarenmesse.
Waren.
Spielwarenmesse. And it's been postponed from this from January to the summer of 2021. What is this, by the way? So this is we call it the Nuremberg Fair, the Nuremberg Toy Fair. It's like the New York Toy Fair, so it's the biggest of these events in Germany, and it's mostly a B2B. So like distributors, publishers, mostly mass market stuff, but also European hobby game publishers go there, and they're trying to bring awareness to their brand directly to retailers of the region. So they were going to have it, as they always do, at the end of January, and it's now been postponed to the summer of 2021. Nothing more to say really about this other than this is, again, a COVID-related issue. We're seeing it, so it's already creeping into 2021, how the effect is going to be for another physical show, and hopefully it does go off later on in the year, in the summer.
Yeah, for me, it's very interesting because for the past many months, we hoped we were talking. Let's 2020 finish. Let's look for the next convention season. Let's look when everything will go back to as normal. And this is the first convention of 2021 that is cancelled. Myself and I guess many other publishers have to rethink their strategy if the convention season next year once again will be damaged by the COVID. The situation today is not much better than the situation 6 months ago. We still have no vaccine. We still have no cure for the COVID. We have more and more cases worldwide. So on one hand, we have this wishful thinking and the hopes that we will see Gen Con, that we will see other shows, that we will see each other finally.
Yes.
In person. But being a businessman, being a person that runs a company and has some responsibilities, you have to prepare the plan for the situation that this COVID will take longer than we hoped. So myself looking very, very seriously at the 2021. I guess that in this year we were all surprised with the situation. I think that not many companies and not many distributors find a solution for the situation. But next year we need to prepare better. And yeah, so this is a not very important news for our fans because, as you mentioned, this is a B2B event. None of our listeners would go there anyway. But it's the first sign of let's think that it may be also very difficult convention season next year.
Yeah.
And how we adjust.
Yep. Everything I agree. Hopefully we're gonna see things change, and things are gonna have to get replaned if we don't. So let's see what happens. So here's something near and dear to my heart. Quixotic Games acquires the rights to Core Worlds. This is on ICV2. I'm going to read this and then we'll comment. The publishing rights to the Core Worlds game line, including the rules, illustrations, and graphic design, have been acquired by designer Andrew Parks's Quixotic Games. That's his design studio from Indie Game Studios. The company's announced. Core Worlds was published by Stronghold Games beginning in 2011, and the products included the core game and 2 full expansions, plus a plethora of promo material. Stronghold was acquired by Indie Boards and Cards in 2018, as everybody knows. So Parks, who designed the game, plans to release a new line of Core Worlds products, beginning with worker placement game Core Worlds Empires, which will serve as a sequel to the original Core Worlds game. The launch will kick off with a Kickstarter in early 2021. Parks thanks Stronghold's Stephen Bonacor for publishing the game and Indie Game Studios' Travis Worthington for a smooth transition. Quote, I am so grateful to Stephen and the entire Stronghold team for all their hard work over the past decade, Parks said. I would also like to thank Travis Worthington, the CEO of Indie Game Studios, for working with us so closely to make this smooth transition for the fans of Core Worlds. So obviously I knew about this, and this was one of the last things that I worked with for Stronghold to smoothly give Andy his the rights to Core Worlds back. He had very big plans that he wanted to execute, and since Indie Game Studios and the Stronghold Games brand was not going to do more work with that, we negotiated a way for him to do that. And I have played the new game in prototype form, Core Worlds Empires, and I've said to him, Andy, I'm going to be backer number one when you put this on Kickstarter. So congratulations to Andrew. Core Worlds is a deep, rich universe with gorgeous artwork. It was the first game that took deck building to a whole different level than it was in the original Dominion. So I'm really happy that he's going to be doing even more with this going forward.
Very interesting news for me. Kudos for both sides. Stronghold Games for publishing the game for over the years, and for Andy to getting the rights back. I'm not sure if you will agree with me, but I think this is quite a rare situation that the designer is acquiring rights back. Like in most cases, either the game is very, very successful, the publisher keeps the rights, keeps publishing, keeps reprinting, or the game is getting older, and at some point the publisher is not renewing the contract, and the rights go back to the designer by themselves. And here we have a different situation that the designer wants these rights back and he buys them back. So this is a rather original story, as far as I understand it.
Sure, that's exactly right. It's not a common thing for that to happen, but since look, as you know, I'm a very honorable and honest and trustworthy person, and to the extent that I can help out somebody else, I was. Andrew Parks is not only a wonderful person, he is a friend of mine, and I wanted to do the right thing by him. And if Stronghold was not going to continue doing things with the IP, we felt that it was a good idea to give it back. Now we still have the physical game, right? So we're going to continue selling, but not reprinting the current board game and the expansions. We're going to continue selling it. We have stock, so those aren't going back. If in the future we do sell out, Andy will have the ability to reprint the game on his own. But at the moment, he's going on and continuing in this universe. The first thing being Core Worlds Empires, a board game sequel to Core Worlds, the deck building game. And then he's going to do other things. I probably shouldn't spoil it, but other things in the universe that he's told me he wants to do. And I'm like, way to go, Andrew. I think it's a great idea. So you go for it.
Awesome.
So the next thing is a little bit near and dear to me as well. Look at this. I'm self-serving here a little bit today, but all these news came out that was related to Stronghold Games. So this is Aconite Books, which is the book publishing arm of Asmodee, and Fricks Games team up for Terraforming Mars novels. Top-selling board game becomes a science fiction series. Asmodee Entertainment's Aconite will collaborate with Fricks Games to create a new series of novels set in the world of Terraforming Mars. Terraforming Mars has been a top-selling board game since its release in 2016, but now the stories and setting will be novelized by the books made available in 25 languages, and the books made available in 25 languages. Aconite publisher Mark Gascon said the following about the prospective novel series. Quote, "We're big fans of the Terraforming Mars games, and we're looking forward to telling epic tales of science fiction exploration and adventure in this exciting setting. We may have our problems down here on Earth, but these novels will provide a much-needed escape to a different world." And these are going to come out in 2021. So yeah, I did know, of course, about this as well, that they were working with Asmodee to do this. I did not help negotiate this one. After helping negotiate Terraforming Mars Digital, good old Enoch, the president of Fricks Games, he understood how to do it. So he negotiated this with Asmodee. I'm very happy for them. My biggest question about the whole thing is that I have no idea how Asmodee is going to run with this, because Terraforming Mars is already a game based on an IP, sort of, not exactly, not directly. There's nothing out there called Terraforming Mars, but the designer references the Kim Stanley Robinson novels, Red Mars, Blue Mars, Green Mars. That's sort of the idea behind the game Terraforming Mars. So it's going to be interesting to see what Asmodee now does, creating novels, new novels based on this idea. Obviously, they're going to be different than those Kim Stanley Robinson books, but this is a very cool thing for the fans of the game.
For me, it's very interesting because we so often get here in the podcast questions from our fans, which book you would love to do as a board game? Like this is one of the most common questions in all the interviews, and fans are eager to see which books we designers love and which ones we want to do a board game. And now we have with these Aconite books, we see the complete opposite trend. They're picking the best-selling board games out there, and they're writing novels set in the words of this. So very eager to see what writers are writing these books, how these books will be interesting. And for sure, I will try. The next news is, Stephen, we will follow it in a moment, is about the Zombicide books. And we can already presume that there will be more and more, that Aconite books will pick the biggest IPs in the board game industry, and they will try to do books out of it. A very interesting trend, huge change in approach to IPs. As I will buy a couple of these books to see the writers, to see the potential. And I think it is exciting and new for our industry.
It's a great, exciting new trend where publishers of hobby games are branching out into basically new areas, books, but then using the board games to bring those, to bring that to life. I love this idea.
I guess that Aconite books will not contact me to write a novel about Robinson Crusoe because it is already done.
I have a feeling that that's not going to happen, but who knows, maybe. So here's another one, and this one is interesting on so many levels. I mean, I'll get to the commentary after I say it, and Ignacy mentioned it. Aconite and Simon are uniting to publish Zombicide novels. So Aconite Books and Simon will collaborate to publish Zombicide novels. Aconite is, of course, the fiction imprint for Asmodee, and they've secured a multi-year agreement with Simon to create brand new novels set in the world of the acclaimed Zombicide range of games. There's a lot of stuff about the background with Zombicide, but we all know this, so we'll talk about this in a second. But the weird thing about this, so this is a direct extension of what we just talked about, so it all makes sense. But the weird thing is, last week, or 2 weeks ago, we spoke about that Simon was licensing Twilight Imperium and Android universe and creating books and graphic novels, comic books. And now we're talking about Asmodee licensing Zombicide and putting out books based on that. So these two companies are truly in bed with each other, licensing each other's stuff. Maybe, and Ignacy's laughing at that expression. It's just I'm just surprised that, well, why isn't like just Aconite doing it? Or it was just surprising to see that now we've got stuff going in both directions. Oh, I'm going to license your stuff. Oh, I'm going to license your stuff. I was very surprised at that, but again, pleasantly surprised and happy that this is going to happen. I think it's a very cool thing.
Yeah, and to add a little bit more spice to the whole romance, let us look at it from the Polish perspective. Aconite Books is Asmodee, so we have Asmodee Poland, and Simon is Portal Games in Poland, because I'm a brand for Simon Poland, right?
Right.
So Aconite Books will publish Zombicide books. So Asmodee Poland, that is Rebel Games, will publish these Zombicide books, while I'm publishing Zombicide the board game. And opposite, Asmodee Poland is releasing, for example, Twilight Imperium or Android, while I will be releasing comic books because Simon has the rights for them. So,
wow.
So our Polish market is more and more convoluted with these love stories from the big business in America.
Very, very interesting. Very, very cool. All right, Ignacy is telling me though we have to go on and move out of the news and go over to our strategy and tactics segment. All right, here in Strategy and Tactics, of course, where we take your questions and answer them from our guild on Board Game Geek. First one is from @Sean of BGG. Sorry, Sean, I don't have your actual name, but I got your handle here. Thank you for putting out an informative show on such a regular basis. I'm finalizing a game I intend to kickstart and have 2 questions related to manufacturing. He's probably already done this because these questions are on a pretty big delay. Number one, once you have agreed with the specifications and finishes of the component, how do you approach the approval of final product, color, resolution, and textures? Do you obtain a physical copy and agree that will be a measure, or is it approved electronically? Let's go this one at a time. Ignacy, why don't you go and start
Yeah,
this one? How do you prove?
yes, for me, it depends on the manufacturer. We have some of the manufacturers we work for years, and we have a huge trust in them, and we don't ask for the physical copy, and we just get
Yep.
files. But in the most cases, please don't be offended, but with the most cases for the Chinese manufacturers, I prefer to get the physical copy because things happen, and there was many cases when some colors were not as planned. So for most cases, when we print in China, we expect them to send us physical copy. In Poland, I know these manufacturers for years. They are very close to us, and we work for them with many products already. We agree for the e-versions.
I 100% of what you're saying, I agree with. But I'll extend it. If you've worked with a printer for a long time, you do everything with electronics. If it's a new one, or you don't have a long-standing relationship, maybe you've only printed once or twice or three times, you get physical copies. So it's not only a China thing. I would probably do that also for Europeans that I have not seen anything from, never worked with before. So we go in both directions on that. His second question: boxes indicate an appropriate age for a game's use, and reputable manufacturers produce goods to international standards. However, there are minimum standards, perhaps a resource you could point to which protect a publisher from a substandard manufacturer output and place liability for the manufactured goods appropriately at point of manufacturer. So I think what he's asking is, how do you ensure certain quality? And you got to do your homework, and you got to get good recommendations from people. You have to have stuff tested, so safety tested. You have to ensure that the factories are getting their things safety tested, and that'll give you a certain liability to certain product liability for like toxic paints and things like that. And of course, if there's somebody you're not working with in the past, as we just mentioned, you're going to get the physical copy and say, this is what it's going to be. And if it doesn't, meet these standards, well, then the product is not going to go. You can actually get a copy as soon as it comes off the line. Also, get the first copy, get it shipped overnight, or 2-day shipping. Take a look at that thing and make sure it's achieving the manufacturing standards that you're looking for.
Yeah, and I don't know details, so I will just show the news, but I don't know the details because my employees are doing that. But Amazon.com lately asked for additional testing, additional certificates.
That's right.
Because depending what age or minimum age on the box, if the game is for the children, if the game is for the 12 years old kids, they ask the additional documentation that it is safe. So I know that my company was preparing all this additional testing, etc., etc. So yeah, we definitely want to work with the manufacturer that confirm that they can provide all these documents. If they are shaky, if they are not confirming that they have all these certificates, run away.
Run away. Alex Tefano, who is at Old Stockings on Board Game Geek. When do the various parties responsible for selling a game receive their money? For example, does the publisher get their full amount from the distributor, even if those games are still sitting on retailer shelves? Yes. Short answer is most sales are final. So when we sell to a distributor, we get paid. Simple as that. When a distributor sells to a retailer, the distributor gets paid as well. So sure, there's initial risk that the publisher takes, basically, right? Because they better sell those games out or quickly out to distribution, and that's a big risk because print runs are very large. But then there's, of course, a little bit of the risk that's assumed by a distributor, that if they have to sell them to a retailer, and then the retailer has the risk of selling the game at the end. So we have to have a risk sharing there.
Yeah, and there are some rare situations when you agree, but there are very special situations when you agree that you give the product to some company and they will pay you when the product is sold, but this is quite rare, and no publisher is happy with such ideas. So,
Yeah.
but things like that happen. But basically, as we as a publisher take a huge risk because we have to print the whole print run,
Mm-hmm.
and then out of this print run, we will sell some part, but we will get this money immediately when we invoice. And then we want to restock and re-invoice once again and once again and once again to sell
Yes,
everything. But the terms of the payment are quite easy here in
yeah.
this industry.
There are returnability clauses in some instances, but it's not often. Mad Halfling, who's at Mad Halfling on Board Game Geek, when you're designing an insert for a game, what are the rough cost differences between a printed cardboard and a plastic insert? Does it make a difference if the cardboard one requires some labor cost to assemble it? Do you tend to design the insert just to protect the game in transit to the shop or consumer, or as a functional piece for holding the game parts and making setup easier? I'll take that because I have a strong opinion on inserts. Inserts really, most of the time, inserts are to protect the game components in transit from the factory to our warehouse, from the warehouse to a distributor, all over the place. That's what inserts are mostly for. Then you can get to like a next level. You can have a protective insert that has a certain amount of functionality, maybe compartments where different things go. Okay, kind of cool. And then, of course, you get to the elaborate inserts. Well, you get to the ones that a publisher can put in there, like vacuum form stuff that truly has functionality. And then you get to the ones that like are third parties selling, like Broken Token and things like that, that have like very expensive and very elaborate. Me as a gamer, and as you can see for our viewers, you can see I've got all these games. Do you think I'm going to be buying inserts for all these games and things like that? I don't believe in that. I just don't. I'm going to take a game out. I'm going to set the game up. I don't care if it's got pretty things. If I had 10 games, okay, maybe I would go out and buy 10 inserts. But I've got 1,000+ games. I'm not going to buy inserts. I mean, God bless you if you like that. Not for me. I believe that the insert is a protective thing. And then sometimes I throw it out afterwards, or I keep it there just so things aren't rattling on my shelf. Ignacy, how do you feel? What do you feel about inserts? Oh, we have to talk about the cost, but go ahead. How you feel about inserts, and then we'll talk about costs.
Of course, I enjoy when I buy the game and I see this fancy plastic insert with places for all the pieces, and it looks so cute and so nice, and I love them till the moment when I buy expansion and it doesn't fit. And blame Ignacy, we release Empires of the North. Now we are releasing fourth expansion. Everybody says that it will not fit yet. It will not fit. I know. What can I say? So it was fancy, plastic, amazing insert. But then when the line is successful, when you add more and more stuff, this plastic insert will be just removed from the box and trashed. So it is a waste of the plastic. So this is bad. On the other hand, me as a gamer, when I buy these fancy, very expensive FFG games, and I see this terrible cardboard piece of insert, I say, hey, FFG, you can do better. So, of course, there is no perfect solution. The cardboard ones doesn't look fancy, but they are very good to store more and more content. These plastic ones, they look amazing, but half a year later, they have no purpose anymore. So there is no golden solution, in my opinion. Our company, as a Portal Games, we try to put these fancy ones, and then we regret it, basically.
And to address costs, there is a huge difference in cost between a cardboard insert and a plastic insert. Huge difference in cost.
Because of the entry cost, let's explain that, the mold cost. Because when you print a ton of copies, then in the long run, it goes nice, but
right,
you never know.
Exactly. So if you're going to have it in your game for 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 100,000 units, then it doesn't matter. But if you're going to have it for one print run and done, you're making this custom mold for this vacuum form mold. It's much more expensive. And in general, plastic pieces, because they're made from petroleum products, are always more expensive than cardboard products, which is a renewable resource. So much more expensive. And I don't care. I just want to play my game. All right. Stephen Sitz, who's at New board order. He asks, what out of print games would you want to have your company print if you were able to get the rights to it? We get this kind of question a lot, either for financial gain or because you just want to see a new and better version of a game.
I can go with
Go
a
ahead.
game called Big City. This is the game from 90s, released by Golden Zebra something in Germany. It's amazing game about building a city. This is in my opinion, this is the perfect Sim City variation. Like you are building your city, and this is amazing game. It was reprinted, I think, 2 years ago, but in the form of the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter was ended, and once again the game is unavailable. So I would love to see this game in a regular, wide distribution. Big City is, in my opinion, the best SimCity game on the market. And if I have a chance, I would secure rights for the game and I would keep it in my catalog for years.
At this point, I don't even know if I have like a game that I want to see a new game printed on, because everything in the beginning, Stronghold did that, right? We were going out and finding games to reprint them, to bring them back in.
Behind you, I see Battlestar Galactica.
Okay, well, that's a great. Okay, so there you go. I mean, that's a great one to have, because people have always talked. They see this on my shelf here, and they talk about one of these. I forgot which one of the expansions. Is it Daybreak expansion? It goes for like $500 right now, in the secondary market. So I mean, certainly that would be a great one. Okay, we'll go with Battlestar Galactica, not because of the cost, but because just simply it should be back in print. It's a brilliant game. We did a game called Dark Moon, which was based on a designer who did a BSG Express game. And he posted it there, but we got the rights. We had to strip out all the BSG, and then we kind of made it based on Alien. So somebody's going to get infected, and they're trying to ruin the ship and things like that. So, sure, Battlestar Galactica, that should come back. I've heard rumors, by the way, that it might come back, but without the BSG in it, which is fine, of course, as long as you have those great mechanics. Battlestar Galactica is a 3-hour game. It's a huge, long game, especially if you're playing the expansions. I recommend people check out Dark Moon for a 1-hour experience that's similar, and you can play 3 times. So there you go. All right, Ignacy. What do we have next? We have our playtesting segment next. Let's get there.
It's a playtesting. Ignacy learned English and grammar. And my question for you is, Stephen is fixing it on the fly, so you guys understand what I'm saying. Who is your favorite gaming partner, your wife, your buddies from work, one loyal gaming group at a local club? So basically, my question is, when you play the game, who is your favorite partner to play a game with?
So for me, it's a kind of almost a funny story involved with this too.
It's a perfect question.
It's a perfect question, absolutely. And my buddy from New Jersey, Chad, I mention him a lot. We actually, so obviously we can't play games together very often these days. I live in Florida. He lives in New Jersey, not close. So back in the day when I was there, and even like before Stronghold or early Stronghold, we used to call each other PGPs, as in platonic gaming partner. In fact, I think another friend of mine, June King, might have even given us that thing. I forgot what Chad did. I forgot. But so Chad and I used to go, we're platonic gaming partners, PGPs, because we would always be seen constantly getting together and gaming various things. And he's like my War of the Ring partner too. When I played so many games with Chad. So I'm going to say Chad is my favorite gaming partner, with a special shout out to Paula, who I've been playing a lot of games with. And if I don't say that, she might kill me, because she's probably in the other room and she can hear me talking right now. So there it is. So who's your favorite gaming partner?
Yeah, I will go with, of course, similar to you, with my Mary that I play at home, 2-player games in the evenings, and it's amazing. And I designed many games with her, and of course, she's my favorite partner. But similarly to Steven, when I go to meet my buddies and we start, doing some treasons and some trash talk and some bad things and stabbing each other, there's a completely different level, of course, of gaming and fun. So here at the Portal Games office, we stay the after hours, and there's this amazing chemistry when my employees are trying to stab the boss and make me being the last in the scoring every single Monday, and I'm doing my best to be at least one space higher than the last one. So this chemistry of being mean to each other and trash talk, this is what I love in the board gaming, and of course,
Absolutely.
my favorite moments of playing.
As long as you don't take it out on your employees when you're doing their annual
They
review and
they
you're
know
giving them
they know
their
they have these 2 hours during the week when they can be mean to the boss and no consequences, right?
That's
And they use it very, very, very extensively.
That is great. That's great. All right. So we are asking you now, who is your favorite gaming partner? And Ignacy is going to create a thread right now. Come on, Ignacy. I'm watching you do it.
I'm on it.
Right now on Board Game Geek in our guild. And we're asking you that question as well. Who's your favorite gaming partner? Please go to our guild on Board Game Geek and find our play testing thread for this question and post your answer. And chat amongst yourselves about, tell us who it is. Who is it? All right. Now we go to our final segment, which is the final scoring. So thank you so much for listening. Help us spread the word about this podcast by telling your friends to download Board Games Insider wherever they get their podcasts. To ask us questions for our strategy and tactics segment, you must post them in the correct thread in our guild on Board Game Geek. To answer our question to you from our playtesting segment, also go to our guild on Board Game Geek and look for the thread with this episode's question. Board Games Insider has a Facebook page, so please like us on Facebook. Also, on Facebook, please like Ignacy's page and Stephen's page, which is /Portal Publishing and /Podfather Gaming. Our websites, portalgames.pl, portalgamesus.com, and podfathergaming.com. Please go there, sign up for our newsletters to get up-to-the-minute information on what's happening at Portal Games and with the Podfather of Gaming. On social media, you can speak directly to Ignacy and Stephen on Twitter @ChevyCheck and @Podfather Gaming. Same on Instagram and on YouTube. The channel names are, I'll get it right this time, Portal Games Movies and the Podfather of Gaming. We hope to see you at an upcoming convention in 2021.
One day.
Please let it happen, please, when the crisis is over, of course. Board Games Insider was professionally edited by Matthew Jude from This Game is Broken podcast. If you'd like him to edit your podcast, please contact him on Twitter or email at thisgameisbrokenpodcast@gmail.com. Ignacy, do you have anything special, anything secret, anything you want to tease the audience with for next week?
Next week, most likely, I will not have a Facebook account again.
The news is not getting any better, huh?
No.
I'm sorry, man. Oh, God.
I'm slowly preparing to start the new account. But well, we will see. Let's. Why we are finishing in the Slavic mood? This is terrible. Why you ask me a question? Please add now positive American vibe to the end of the podcast.
Positive American vibe. I got questioned a lot about my rant from last week. I don't know if you remember. I made a rant, and people asked me, yes. "What are you talking about? What are you talking about?" I'm like, sorry, guys. I'm just telling you. I'll always be honest with you. Always be honest. Trust Bonacor. You get the truth from Bonacor. That's it. Positivity in board gaming, positivity in life. Try to stay that way. Tough time for everybody, right, Ignacy? It's a tough time. So try to stay positive. We'll all get through this together. Until next time, everyone, take care. See you soon.
Bye-bye.